Good afternoon, fellow Plexers. This video is going to be about Looney Tunes, and it's going out to Jason to show him how to get it into his TV show library. I've done a few videos for Jason in the past, usually involving cartoons, and this is a great example of why you should not even consider using the movie database as a source ID or your naming Bible for Plex TV shows and their episodes. Always use the TVDB. So let's get into Jason's post. Do you guys have any list of Looney characters playlists with X characters? Now, I'm not quite sure what he's asking, and Daniel, our mod, asked him what he's asking about, and Jason replied like this: I just realized Plex probably doesn't have this, never mind. So what he's showing is a Looney Tunes episode, season 1942, episode 22, titled Bugs Bunny Gets Cold. Plex can process this. So I don't know what database this came from or how Jason has it, but Jason and I have often conversed about ignoring any other database out there besides the TVDB and sometimes the movie database for a Plex TV show library. If this is an actual file name, which it may not be, well, it probably isn't, because a colon right here is an illegal character. But Bugs Bunny Gets Cold, that's an actual Plex, or that's an actual entry at TVDB. So let's start here. I've searched for Looney Tunes, I've clicked the TV show tab here, and we don't see anything besides this. We're looking for something that has an episode from 1942, which we know can't be real because TV wasn't around in 1942. There were no TV series. The movie database is, let me just, how do I phrase this? The movie database is rigid. If an episode never appeared on a TV screen as a TV show, it doesn't exist in this database. So that even changes some specials. Over at TVDB, they allow virtual TV shows, and they are freer with specials. If a special came off the DVD and it's important enough that somebody thought it should be in the listing at the TVDB as a special, it's there. You'll never see that at TMDB. Only specials that actually aired on TV during the regular season or like a Christmas special. No optical media ever gets to be a special over here. Usually the TMDB and the TVDB agree with each other. The TMDB is always aired ordering. There's no alternate DVD ordering or absolute ordering. TVDB has those extra options. So if it didn't air on TV, it's not part of the series. And frequently, if there's a TV show that doesn't air for 3 or 4 years, and then it comes on again, it's a brand new series almost always over at TMDB. Where at TVDB, it might just be the next series of the existing show. They make it easier for the Plex server owner to exist, to find content, and to get content into a TV series library. So let's go to the better database. If I search the Looney Tunes here, you see the same shows, but you also see what's a virtual entry here that supposedly started in 1929. So if I click into seasons, again you have the aired ordering, you have a DVD ordering, and you have an absolute ordering. So there's 119 specials here. There's not even a listing at TMDB, let alone a special season. If I click to DVD order, now we've got 19 specials, and now we're back to a season 1, season 2. So you can name this way if you want. Let's go into season 1. You can name this way if you want, but I prefer the aired ordered listing. Now, I've noticed that this database has gotten slower to access. So normally I would right click and open up all seasons in another tab. but I don't know if that'll happen here or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to mock up some file names to show Jason or anybody else how to use FileBot to quickly rename this type of content. If you've got a series that's 1 or 2 seasons long with 8 or 10 or even 22 episodes per season, it doesn't take forever to rename things manually. But this series, the Looney Tunes, it's a labor of love, and it can take you a long time. So FileBot will help you feed or speed things up. Okay, so this came through. So
you have a new flash mail.
What I've got here is someplace my file manager. I've created a Looney Tunes season folder. Show folder. Inside it are 5 dummy files. This is not real media. Good evening, fellow Plexers. This is just little 15-second dummy files, all the same video, just renamed. So you open up your cartoon episode and you find the title card, which just shows the episode name. So let me resize things here. So I am going to go with this. Let me just go here. We'll grab this episode. The first title card tells you it's that episode. So I'm going to rename this file name like that. And maybe the next episode is from the same season. So I'm going to grab that episode name, Control-C to copy it, right-click, rename, Control-V to paste it in. So you do have to watch out for illegal characters. Like under Linux, an exclamation point is legal, a colon's not. All right, so let's go down to season 1938. Let's grab this one. Now let's go to the year 1942 and grab the episode example that Jason had given us. Now let's jump down a few years to 1955 and we'll grab this one here. Everything besides the one Jason gave us the example of is all just random. Okay, so all I've done is created the show folder, no season folder, and just rename things by the actual episode name. Now FileBot, I've got lots of FileBot videos. FileBot is $6 a year, and we're going to show you how to use just the basic expression to rename this. So, very versatile program. So I'm going to back up and right-click on this season folder, or you could drag it into FileBot. I can open with other application and just choose FileBot. Now I'm not going to use my custom expression. And if I hold down the Shift key and click down here, I'll see FileBot's built-in expressions. Organize episodes for Plex. It won't work, but I'll show you that. FileBot's default series expression that creates structure pulls all naming from the movie database. And this series ain't in the movie database. So you can do it manually. Click Match, and the first section is Episode Mode. Pick the TVDB. Identify the show. See how we now have this show, and if I hold my mouse over it, it shows the 1929 year. So I'll click that, select, and just from the name of the episode and telling FileBot which show it was, pointed to the right database, we create basic episode names. Now this is not creating the season folder, it's not changing the name of the show folder, but it takes a lot of the work out. So you can spend a few hours and maybe you've got, I don't know, 100 episodes, 150 episodes, all renamed as their episode name. And then just with a $6 FileBot lesson, without learning anything more than what I showed you, you can quickly get to this state where you just have to create a season space 1931 folder for these, a 38 folder for that, a 42 folder, and a 55. It does take a lot of the work out of it. Now, I got to show you one thing, because sometimes FileBot isn't proper when you first install it. At least it hasn't been for me. So we'll do the same thing. We'll hit match. We'll hit the TVDB. We'll pick the right show and select. I found that a new FileBot install will have everything the same, except it'll be, it would say S1931XE02, or maybe it's just X02. So if that happens to you, don't panic. On any file, right click and go down to Edit Format. This will already be selected, but it's not working. So just find it as the example. It'll be the first one. N in curly braces, space dash space, inside curly braces, S00E00, a space dash space again, inside curly braces, T is episode name in FileBot, and then inside curly braces again, SUBT. This will handle renaming external subtitles. And here's the example. Just click on it. Even though it's already selected, just click on it again and hit use format, and those improper season episode codings will change to this. The green tells me there's no sense renaming it because they're already named the same way. So, I'm not going to post it in this video, but my last full FileBot video shows how to create the custom expressions. If I edit my TV show library expression, you see it does a lot. It also will name split files properly if you're using the PT dash 1, 2, or 3 method instead of part 1 or DVD 1 or CD 1 or disc 1, with disc spelled either way. But if you want to use part 1, you'd use the same expression and change it to part 1 instead of PT. This identifies and tells you if there's embedded English subtitles or unlabeled subtitles, which I think is helpful. So once you get the expression loaded from my previous FileBot video, my last one, you just use it. I'm just going to click on it, identify the show, select, and even from my local computer across the network to my Synology NAS, it creates a good show folder name with a year and the TVDB source ID. It creates the proper season folder, and it creates the proper show or episode names, along with adding media characteristics and information about embedded subtitles, or it'll handle properly prepped external subtitles in the SRT format. So I'll click rename. Now I have to refresh this because it's on my NAS. You see that beautiful folder name, and you see these seasons. Now these are just dummy files or dummy episodes. So let me cut this and let me get my Plex server up. Well, my test server. So we're doing this on this SSD Docker test server. Let me go down to libraries and this kids TV show library, where the Looney Tunes is already there with these public domain episodes from 1930 and 1931. My test servers all have public domain. So if I go into this folder structure and I'm on the test library, and now I paste this in, let me skip that season 1931. So I think this server set up to scan automatically, and it's now bringing that other content in, and it matched up the proper season folders that are at TVDB. And if I go in, here's that one episode that Jason gave us as an example. Now, this is just public domain. Oh, I'm sorry, this is
Good evening, fellow.
a dummy file while these episodes are public domain episodes that I can actually show playing. So, Jason, from my perspective, it's easy peasy, but you have to accept into life as if it's a new religion that the TVDB is your only naming guide for your TV shows. And you do a lot of cartoons, and you'll find this more helpful to name from here. And I've got to mention one thing that I forgot. If you're only going to name from TVDB for your series, you have to go into the library and then the advanced settings by the three dots, manage library, edit, advanced, and by default, it'll be set up to pull episode ordering from the movie database. You must change that to the TVDB. Now, if you have an existing library, you can leave it at TVDB, and then at the show level, you can go to the advanced settings and change episode ordering to TVDB. So you can do it at the show level. So the show won't scan in properly. And when you make that change, rescan, refresh metadata, rescan the library, and then refresh metadata for that show, then it'll pop in. But it's so much easier just to have your whole library set up for TVDB. Most existing shows that you have the exact match of the movie database, so it won't change a thing. But if you have a huge library, you may not notice that one show no longer has proper metadata. So I would only suggest making the change globally. If maybe you have 25 to 100 series that you can kind of scroll down through slowly and see if anything doesn't look right. I could never do it with this size of a library. Okay, so that's it. Jason, give up any database besides the TVDB. You will just be that much better for it. And I've made the similar advice to you in the past, and you haven't taken the advice yet, but it's the only way you're getting this show into Plex, and you can do it just at the show level, use a TVDB aired ordering, or you can do it globally if you want to make that bigger commitment. Everybody else, happy Plexing. Jason, happy Plexing. Have a great weekend, and thanks for watching.